Good morning, children. Welcome to my today's class. PUC second year English. Lesson 3 is a poem on children written by Khalil Gibran. To tell you about the poet, Khalil Gibran is a Lebanese American artist and poet. His poems are considered as poetic essays, not short poems, but they are like essays, poetic essays. The Prophet is his best known work. The best known work of Khalil Gibran is The Prophet. The present poem on children is a selection from the Prophet, from this work of his, that is The Prophet, which offers a critique of the usual expectations of parents regarding the children and urges them to analyze, that is, introspect. So, coming to the poem, this poem is about the expectation of parents from their children. Parents expect so many things from their children. Of course, expectation of parents always high. Some parents expect their children to be like them. For example, we can say maybe a doctor wants his son or daughter to be a doctor. An engineer wants his son or daughter to be an engineer. But these are one category. This is one particular category. Some other parents expect their children not to be like them, but something better than them. For example, we can say a labor class person. A parent of a labor class always wants his son or daughter to be better than him. He expects his child to be better and not a labor. So these are the expectations of the parents. Of course, parents expect so many things, but there are few who expect more and not expect the demand from the children, which is not very good. I too, as a parent, I expect so many things from my child. So are the other parents. Parents expect many things from their children. They are too demanding. That is, they want their child to do exactly what they want. Parents want a child to do exactly what they want. They are possessive. They never ask the child what he wishes. They only pour their thoughts over the child. On the other hand, what does a child expect from his parents? As a parent expects from a child, so also the child expects something from the parent. A child, of course, feels irritated with the demands of parents, the possessiveness of a parent towards him. Too much possessive is not good. He has his own dreams, goals, which he wants to come true. He wants to be successful in life in his own way. He wants to create his own identity. Of course, each and every child will have this in his mind. He wants to have his own identity. So parents should see to this also. Okay, let's see to this poem. Coming to page number 16. So whenever you are watching the video, children, please hold the textbook in your hand. You will understand better. Page number 16. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children." The first line, the poem begins with a woman carrying a child. A woman carrying a child against her bosom, holding tight towards her chest, asks a prophet to tell her something about her child, to tell something about children in general. She wants to know something about children, about her child's future also she wants to know. When she asks this question to the prophet says, children do not belong to parents. They are God's children. So children are not yours. They belong to God. All children belong to God and not to parents. Page number 17. They are the sons and daughters of lives longing for itself. Lives longing, lives. Gods, metamorphically used. They come through you but not from you. They come through you but not from you. You may give them love but not your thoughts. You may give them love but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. That is, they are the sons and daughters of lives longing of God. They come through parents but not from parents. They come from God, the creator of all, the creator, the Lord, God. The prophet further says, you may give your love to them but not your thoughts. He means to say, forcibly, do not put your thoughts into the child. Just love him. Let him grow freely in his own way. That is, the way of the Creator. Creator has made some way for him, so let him grow. Children have their own thoughts. Allow them to think. If you do not allow the child to think, simply keep on pouring your thoughts. When will the child develop? When will the child think? So prophet says, allow him to think. You give your eternal love to him. But let him think on his own. Do not pour your thoughts over the child. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. Prophet says, you may own their bodies, but not their souls. Their soul belongs to God, lives longing. They have to move on and on and on in their life and all alone. Not attaching to your thoughts. Let him think, let him move alone. Let the child make his own identity. The souls dwell in the house of tomorrow. That is, life moves on and goes forward and for a better tomorrow. Today's children are smarter than the parents. Yes, of course, one has to agree to it. Today's children are smarter. Their future no one knows, not even parents. Even parents cannot see the future of a child. A parent cannot visit the child's future even in his dreams. The child has his own views, opinions, thoughts, dreams, goals for his future, which no one can even dream of. The prophet further says, you may strive to be like them, but not seek to make them like you. He means to say, parents have to change for their children's better future. Parents have to change for their children's better future, for their child's better future. but not make them change for parents. He says, do not make them to be like you. You strive to be like them. You struggle to be like them. Work hard to be like your child. The children of today are intelligent, cool, hardworking, and they know how to make their own identity. Yes, all of us, all of the parents, we have to agree to it. Yes, they make their own future and a better future. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Tarries stops. He says, life just goes on. It does not go backward. It does not stop with yesterday. It moves on. What comforts thinking our grandparents had, maybe our parents had better than that. And naturally, children of today will have a better thinking, comfort than the parents. So the life has to move on with betterment. This means life moves on and with betterment. We have a better tomorrow to move on and on and on. So he says, don't stop with what you had yesterday. What you had yesterday, have a better tomorrow. We generally hear our parents say that when I was like you, that is of your age, I already started earning, I used to do that, this. Yes, each and every parent says this to the child. Yes, this is the story of each and every parent. Here, Prophet tells the parents not to do so. He says, your times are gone. Those were your times. You did it. Now, it is a child's time. It is a child's day. Let him have his own dream. He says, your times are gone, passed away, forget it. You move forward. I can just give you the example of a river. River always flows forward, never it comes backward. In the same way, life always moves forward. Life never comes back, it never looks back, it never stops, it goes on. Time and tide waits for no man. Next few lines of the poem. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are set forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Very nicely said by the poet in this last few lines. The poet says, there is a relation that exists, the relationship that exists between the children and the parents. And he refers this to the bow and the arrow. Parents are the bows, children are the arrows. Then who is the archer who has to live the arrow? The person who handles this bow and arrow is God. Yes, God the Creator handles all this. God is the archer who makes the parent leave the arrows till where? Till infinity. We cannot have any end for it. Very, very, very far, never ending. The bow has to be bent to make the arrows go far. The bow has to bend, parent has to bend. For what? To make the arrow to go, to see that the children go far away. So also the parents have to bend to make their children move far and far and far till infinity. Children, hope all the children gain success in life. So the poet tells that the parents should find happiness in bending to see their child's progress, to see the child move forward, to see the success of their child or children. God also loves to see this bending of the parent and the child success. He loves the arrow that flies and he loves the bow that is stable. God handles everything very nicely. He loves to see both the bending of the parents and the moving of the children forward. God the Creator handles everything smoothly. Hope poem is over. Hope you all have understood the poem, the summary of On Children. So what you have to do now? Like, share and subscribe. Thank you.